my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh hell, babe.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus. Good morning. We just got our coffee. We're ready to pack up and head on the road to Chipping Camden up in the Cotswolds. But first, we're going to make a pit stop and do a little day trip out in Cardiff, Wales. Cardiff is the capital of Wales. We don't really know what to expect other than there's lots to see and we're going to go make a day of it.
So we just crossed over the bridge from England into Wales. We're about 30 minutes away from Cardiff. So far, been a pretty smooth ride. Uneventful, that's good. Very scenic, I like it, enjoying it.
We have parked the car here in Cardiff, Wales, and just behind me is Cardiff Castle, which we are about to go check out right now. Okay, we made it inside Cardiff Castle, and just behind me is the keep, the main sort of security point of the castle. I got a fun fact on my audio guide already that I thought was interesting. This was built, as it is now, built on an old Roman fort, and they used some of the masonry that they found to help build it. That's kind of interesting, right? So this whole area as a fort or a place of security is quite old.
Okay, so we've made it inside the castle, or what's known as the keep here. And if you can see behind me, and if you use your imagination, you can see what it once looked like in the past. So back there, that little carving in the wall is where a fireplace used to be. And then all the little square holes in the side of the bricks are where wooden pegs once held essentially wooden buildings on the inside that were used for various different purposes. And I believe too, in the center where the grass is, was like a main hall area that was used for special purposes. And they believe this whole thing also was enclosed. So it was just this big inside, I guess, ballroom with essentially buildings all around it. Now we're gonna make our way up to the top at the lookout, up where the flags are. That there is the medieval toilet.
Just need like a bow and arrow and I can protect the fort. These little walls that you see are the remnants of an actual large wall from the 13th century that divided this whole area into a private area for the lord that lived in the castle and then sort of everybody else. And they used to be like legit full-size walls. None, please. behind me we have the clock tower, which in Victorian times was the tallest structure in Cardiff. I don't know when it was built, but it has 7 stories. There's actually apartments inside, and all the decorations on the outside are in the theme of time. It's really beautiful. Those boot scrapers are outside all old European buildings, and I've always wanted a reason to use one. Okay. Okay, we've wrapped up our tour of Cardiff Castle, including the gorgeous manor or mansion behind us. And the last little fun fact is a lot of the especially inside, the decorations and the way it looks today was done by the Bute family, which are apparently very prominent and important in Cardiff. They were a wealthy family. They might have even been the marquis of the area. I believe they were in the coal industry, had coal money, and that was how they got their fortune and spent it building much of modern Cardiff today. They hired the architect William Burgess, and he was apparently very expensive and had quite the over-the-top taste. All the rooms were themed, extremely intricate and detailed, very beautiful. Highly recommend stopping by here if you're in Cardiff. We didn't expect a ton. I think it was £13 per person to get in for adults, and it had so much to see. Luckily the weather cleared up, so we got to see all of it, and it's a beautiful day. Now it's lunchtime. Okay, we just got done with lunch at Chai Street Indian Food. It was over on High Street. It was a good affordable option, lots of veggie options as well. We're walking now to Bute Park. Remember earlier when we talked about the Bute family? They also endowed this park as well, and we're gonna go have a look. So we just walked in the gate of Bute Park, and just when you enter is Pettigrew Tea Room, which I wish we had time for today, but we don't. I did read online though that it's a great spot for high tea, so that might be a really cute place. You can look at the park. Definitely check that out if you have time.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a dog, crazy, naive, bold and carefree.
We have just finished our walk through Bute Park, and now we're gonna take this exit onto North Road, because behind me is the Welsh University, the government building, City Hall, all of which are gorgeous Georgian buildings. I think I said that right. And we're just gonna take a stroll around before we head back to the car.
Alright, so we finished exploring Cardiff Wells for the day. So now we're going to take about a 2-hour drive or road trip to our next destination, Chipping Campden. So we're going to get there, get checked into our Airbnb, and hopefully grab a quick dinner.
Good morning. So last night we arrived to the old house, our Airbnb in Chipping Campden in the Cotswolds of England. This morning we got up, got dressed, had a beautiful breakfast made by the sweetest people that work there. And as you can see behind me, we're dealing with a bit of weather. But I've been told the English people don't let rain or wind bother them, and so we're not going to either. Today's plan is to go explore the Cotswolds. There are just villages on villages of little cutesy places to be seen, tea to be drank, hopefully like some cakes to be eaten, you know. We're just gonna try and get the English countryside experience today.
Okay, so what I learned about the Cotswold region here is the whole land underneath this area is made of what's known as Jurassic limestone, and that's what you see all of the buildings here made out of. So that honey-colored brick that you see is actually from this area. So it's pretty neat. All these buildings from the last few centuries are all built out of that, and they are beautiful.
It's a little cold outside. The English people are wearing sleeveless shirts and I'm in a jacket and scarf and I'm still cold. That sign for the public footpath, it leads to this little gravel road, and we have noticed them everywhere. And one of these evenings I really want to do that, like just take a walk down these random footpaths. They seem to go across people's land or just in these like really cozy little pathways. I think they're charming. You scared me. It was like all of a sudden a black figure behind me. Woo!
You staying dry?
No. None of us are. We were
You look like Little Red Riding Hood, except with a green jacket.
in my army green. We were walking along and these two men passed us, and I hear one of them just go, "Effing Cotswold weather," in his like English accent, and I thought that was funny. That's all.
Okay, we're in the old market hall here in downtown Chipping Campden, and this is where all the local produce and everything was sold back in the 1600s. This place was built in 1627, and it's really neat. The floors are this kind of cobblestone, and it's super wavy, so I have to be extremely careful walking backwards here. And it has what looks to be, I doubt original, but really old ceilings in here made of wood architecture. It's beautiful, and it's really neat just being in here.
So we're back in the car. We went through Chipping Campden and we had a beautiful, albeit windy and rainy, walk through town and around. We saw a garden, we saw lots of beautiful buildings. It was great. We stopped back at the Airbnb to grab some snacks, some sustenance, and now we're back on the road and we're gonna do a 45-minute drive down to the farthest village that we're gonna visit today, which is Bibury. Supposed to be especially adorable. The plan right now is to do that really quickly and then hop back up through some others, and I hope to do some tea today, like tea and sandwiches and things. So we'll see if we get to do that. We're just gonna village hop.
Okay, so I've gotten used to driving on the left side of the road already, But one thing you should know out here in the Cotswolds is the roads, they are so narrow and small. They're two-way roads, as you can see, but there's shoulders everywhere, and you have to pull over and let people pass by because they're just way too narrow for two cars to fit through at the same time.
Okay, so we just had a spot of tea at the Swan Hotel here in Bibury in the Cotswolds. We needed to have a little moment. It's been a long drive in the car, but now we're ready to walk around the very small town of Bibury before we head over to Beaufort for afternoon tea. I am so excited for that. I truly can't wait. So let's get to walking around and hop back in the car and head out for the rest of our afternoon.
Do you like the rainy Cotswold weather, my dear?
I can't say that I do, but I'm toughing it out, you know.
I got the big camera and the gimbal. I took my coat apart. The inside is wrapped around this thing to keep it dry, and then the outer is around me to keep me dry.
I will say Bibury is very lovely. We're just getting the full British experience, weather and everything.
All right, I think we had enough of the rain for now, so we're gonna hop back in the car and head to the next town, hopefully for some high tea.
Whew. Got a little break in the rain, just in time to get in the car. That's okay.
Hallelujah. The rain has stopped and the sun is shining.
Praise be. As we walk back to the car, after a day exploring the Cotswolds and having tea, I thought I'd reflect on my thoughts on the place that we had tea. We went to Huffkins here in Birthplace, and maybe my expectations were too high from teas that I've had before, but I was underwhelmed. They just seemed really hurried and distracted, like maybe they had been very busy. But the tea itself was good. The scones were unlike any I've ever had before, but they were very good too. I'm really excited to try maybe a fancy tea in London, so we'll have to check that out. But we always just want to be honest, you know? I could be like, it was great, or I could tell you with the truth. It's a debate. Do I want to come off like a downer, or do I want to be honest? You know? So we go with honesty. Found one of the footpaths.
Okay, so the thing about the footpaths here in England was that they're enacted by the government, and the belief is that enjoying nature in the countryside in England is essentially a human right. And so even though this is not public land, due to whatever the law is here, anybody is able to go on this property wherever you see the signs and enjoy the beautiful countryside here.
No wonder it feels like trespassing. That would never fly in the States.
No.
You might get shot, honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But it's exactly what I wanted. I just had this image in my mind of an English country walk, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
I see sheep, there's open fields.
It's lovely.
It's wonderful.
Watch the thorns. The thorns got him. Should I help? This is torture. Oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Oh hell, babe.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I'm free. Freedom. I thought I ducked enough. Those things just went whoop, right in my butt. That'll just humble you a little. Let's go.
Mildly freaking out right now. There's a massive rain cloud out in the distance, and it's coming right at us. We're gonna try to make it back before it hits.
I think he's being only mildly dramatic. We'll be fine.
Look at that rain.
It's the distance. Reporting live from the Eye of the Storm. We're still fine.
Round 2.
Bye-bye, country.
Okay, it's only sprinkling a bit. Pretty good. We're about 100 meters from the house.
It's gonna start pouring and dang shit now. Yep. Okay, thus concludes our day exploring the Cotswolds. We've made it safe and sound back to our Airbnb. We're about to go inside and chill. Thanks for coming with us. Good morning from the Cotswolds. We are packed up in the car, take a right, and we are headed to Stratford-Upon-Avon today on our way to Ironbridge. We're going to go explore.
Seatbelt. Safety first.
Seatbelt safety is very important. We are on our way to Stratford-Upon-Avon en route to Ironbridge. And we are going to make a little day, a little Shakespearean day, right?
That's right, yeah. So we have about a 20 to 30 minute drive to Stratford-Upon-Avon. It's a nice day. The weather actually is cooperating really well. So I'm excited about that. For now. Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so after a very brief drive, we've made it to Stratford-Upon-Avon, where the plan is to walk along the river, head to the church and check that out, head to Shakespeare's birthplace, grab some lunch, and then see what else we find.
Freaking English weather, man. I thought it was nice and sunny. 1 second, bright and sunny, next, gloomy and rainy.
Oh well.
All right, so back behind us here is the Royal Shakespeare Company. And I believe if you want to go see a Shakespeare play today, this is where you go.
I think they can take like several hours, so it could be a half day there, but it sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Not on our agenda today though.
Nope.
We just caught some Shakespeare in the park. They're having a little Shakespeare festival, and at noon and at 3 they were doing Tempest today. So we just stopped by and watched a scene. It was fun.
Okay, so in the front of the chancel here is the actual burial site of William Shakespeare and his wife. So William Shakespeare was actually born and raised in this town that we're in. He was baptized in this church, and he was buried here in 1616.
Visited the Holy Trinity Church, which is the burial place and the christening place of William Shakespeare. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It's technically free. They do ask that you donate £4 per person, which we did, which is reasonable. And it's easy. It's a beautiful church, which dates back to like 1210s. It's
pretty old.
Yeah, it's incredibly old and gorgeous. We highly recommend that. Now I'm hungry. Finished up lunch at the Giggling Squid, a little Thai restaurant here in Stratford, and it was good. Not spicy enough, but what are you gonna do?
It was nice and warm for this kind of chilly, rainy day.
Yeah, it was nice. It was really good. So now we are en route to Shakespeare's birthplace.
Yeah. I almost ran into somebody. So we just arrived here at William Shakespeare's home, where he was actually born and where he lived until he was about 20 years old. We learned that the ticket prices here are £17.5 per person to get in. So we're gonna skip that, just enjoy the outside of it and go explore more of the town here. We had a good rest of the day exploring Stratford-Upon-Avon, and after about a 2-hour drive, we've made it to our next destination, which is Ironbridge. Ashley actually is getting settled in right now. I just went to get us some groceries for dinner, breakfast, and road trip snacks. If you can tell, there's a ton of hills here in Ironbridge. We're gonna get settled in and get some rest, and I can't wait to show y'all this beautiful town tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, get that sign.
Already, Jesus. Can't. Mossy, green, beautiful. That didn't even make sense. That's how pretty it is. Like Beyonce with all this wind. That's how I'm imagining it. We were talking earlier about, I wonder if they have tornadoes here because it's so windy. I don't think they do, but I just got caught in a little windstorm of leaves. It was charming, but then I got dirt in my eye.
Baby, I need your loving. Got to have all your love.
There's a store across the street called Aloha More, and I'd like to go. Thanks. Jesus, Jordan.
Sometimes road trips come with a little bit of traffic. Right now, sitting bumper to bumper. Pretty standstill.
More time for podcasts.